Space is the place.
My name is Garfield. I am a visual artist. These days I'm called interdisciplinary. I draw, I paint on canvas, I do installations, I use various media, mostly non-traditional. My latest project here, the Tarp project, is an installation, and basically what I did was I went into the Coronation Market in Kingston, Jamaica. I took worn, weathered tarpaulin from the vendors in exchange for giving them brand new tarpaulin. So every piece of tarpaulin that's in here was exchanged for a brand new piece. So Coronation Market is actually the largest exchange of goods and services in the Caribbean, in the English-speaking Caribbean. As a child growing up, I used to go to the Coronation Market quite regularly with my mother, and actually quite detested it because she would always be walking fast, and in the Coronation Market there are all these guys who are pushing hand carts, and if you're not careful they'll hit you. In addition to that, it's not the most pleasant sight. There's running water, there's the stench, the fish vendors, and I really detested it as a child, so I couldn't wait to grow big enough to refuse any invitation to go to the Coronation Market from my mother. I was able to go away and study, to do further studies in the visual arts, and when I returned to Jamaica, originally I was fascinated about downtown, went downtown, took pictures, went into the Coronation Market, felt very happy. I guess it was a sense of nostalgia that crept up on me. Years later though, I came to a place where I really detested Coronation Market. The poverty, the drug use, you know, the desperation, the destitution. I really actually came to a place where I said, you know, I'd not visit the Coronation Market again, or for that matter, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Somehow or the other, I went there to purchase some material for my art, and went into the Coronation Market and was just fascinated all over again. Developed a love for the people, for the place, for the energy, for the vibe. And then while I was there, you know, in the midst of all this, I realized that, you know, the tarp is there as a material that is basically in abundance, and I thought I'd just use that as a basis of my art. Well, actually it has several uses. It actually transports the goods. It protects the produce, because there's some people who actually spend their nights in the Coronation Market, actually sleep in the market. So it's used as a form of protection, and in addition to that, during the days, for the people who are on the outskirts of the market, they use it to shelter from the elements. So it has several uses, and that explains partly why it is so worn, because it's really well used. Years ago, I came across an artist named Jose Becara, Brazilian, and I saw where he would collect tarp from truck drivers who went around the countryside. Now, interestingly, what they call tarp is what we call heavy canvas here in Jamaica. So it's really not the same type of material, even though they call it tarp. and for all intents and purposes it's used for a similar process. So he'd go around and collect what they call tarp from the truck drivers, and then he'd take it to his studio and put it through an oxidization process, which is supposed to be secret. But essentially after he did that rusting, he just hang it in exhibition halls, and that would really be his thing to do. He just collect the tarp, do a rusting process, and just hang it as is. Similar to the explanation that Jose had, is that this tarp had been to several places and essentially encapsulated the story of these people who carried it. So it had a history, it had a story. And in my mind, these worn, weathered tarp reflect, for me, the people. But actually, this aspect of the project was the part that I found the most fascinating, the actual exchange with the vendors. What I'd do is I'd take a brand new tarpaulin and exchange them for precisely the same size that they were giving me. So their distressed, worn tarp, I'd measure it, and based on the size, I'd give them something brand new for that, which actually went down quite well. I was very deliberate in the types of tarpaulin that I chose, because I wanted tarpaulin that was really distressed, had a texture that showed signs of wear and tear, which for me, well, I've said that it's really a metaphor for the people for me, because it's a lot of wear and tear on their physical and I'm sure psychological being, what they do in that coronation market. I couldn't help but see similarities in that other market that took place years ago, that being the marketing slaves, African slaves. And so essentially what you're looking at, these images on the wall, I'm referencing the image that has come to us from the cross-section of the transatlantic slave ship, where in fact those images are actually lying down, but I have them standing up, which in a sense is me making a statement there, having survived, having endured. And even in the market, even though there's a lot of distress, literally and figuratively, there's a sense of resilience, because these people, some of them have been doing it for years, it's how they live. And in wanting to demonstrate that, I have these images actually standing up. In addition to that, I've stitched some of the tarpaulin together with a very bright orange to add some energy and life, to show that it's not all gloom and doom. And well, there's hope. There's always hope.